afternoon everyone, welcome to Gendera. This is my aquaponics. My name's Gerwin, so this is my aquaponics, and my aquaponics was, I first set it up the system about 3 months ago and pretty much just had cuttings that I put in there. I'll leave a link up there to the video where I did that. So it was about it was 3 months ago. I think it was 128 days. Anyway, so this system has been running for 128 days. And I added the fish to the system just over 2 months ago. And I bought them at that size, and I'll show you a little clip of how big they are now. I am so excited. Because I've actually just gotten myself, I haven't gotten myself a GoPro, which is what I was hoping for, but I found a cheaper option, which is actually an Endoscope, which is, hang on, I'll turn the camera around so you can see it. Wireless Endoscope, it's got that cord and it's got that little gadget there. It's a Wi-Fi one, so I connect it to my phone and can record it from there. And it's got, I'm caught. So yes, it's got a little camera on the end there, which also has LED lights. I have got the LED lights off at the moment. So I'll pop a little clip up here of what the fish look like, because the fish are what powers aquaponics. Without the fish, or more to the point, the ammonia produced by the fish, so there are other ways of getting ammonia into the system, which is what I had to do for the first month as I was cycling the system. And that's all about the nutrient cycle, because the way that works is something produces ammonia, whether it be fish or some sort of seaweed solution that you put in there, or even human urine. It produces the ammonia, and then there is a bacterial colony that lives in the growing media. Now in my case, I've got clay balls and 3/4 inch gravel. So these are the little clay balls, and the idea of the clay balls is that they're an inert substance, so they're not going to have a pH reaction with the water. And that's the 3/4 inch gravel. So I've got the clay balls on the top half of the bed because they're nicer on my fingers, and the 3/4 inch gravel is down the bottom. Now I've got a huge playlist that goes through aquaponics basics, which I'll leave a link there, and then I've got another playlist which is our journey with aquaponics, which spans the 8 years that we've been growing using aquaponics, with most of it being in the last 4 years. So yes, so at the moment one of the beds is draining. Now there are a couple of problems that some people have with aquaponics and misunderstandings. So they think the plants are constantly in water, and they're not, because both the bacteria and the plants need oxygen, otherwise they'll become anaerobic, not aerobic, and you want the aerobic bacteria to be in there, otherwise it'll grow a completely different type of plant, which is very, very different. So we want aerobic bacteria to live in this system and do the job for us. So what happens is you've got the whole nitrogen, nitrite and ammonia cycle, which is actually the other way around. It starts with ammonia, and then there's bacteria on the gravel that turns the ammonia into nitrite, and then there's another bacteria that turns the nitrite into nitrate, and then the plants take up the nitrate, and you get phenomenal growth. I mean, this system, in fact, it's actually only, because I started off with just these 3 beds here. These last 3 have only just been added on recently. Well, the whole system's been done recently. But this is literally 3 months worth of growth And I mean, my celery is going insane. Let's see if I can get a good stalk of celery for you to have a look at. So there's my celery. That is, I mean, the aquaponics makes me look good. I'm really not a good gardener. I'm quite good at killing things. But I can put things in my aquaponics and the aquaponics makes it grow. So all I have to do is remember to feed the fish. Now at the moment the fish have decreased their eating, so they're only really eating in the middle of the day, so when it's the warmest. So they like temperatures above 18 degrees. And I don't know if you can see that, you probably can't. There's a bit of algae growth on it, so that makes it even harder. Let's clean some of that algae off. So it's actually currently sitting at, it's probably around 18 degrees. Sorry, that's really hard for you to, that's not focusing on that. So it's around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. On that little thermometer, so that's at the top of the water. I haven't got anything measuring at the bottom, but the fish are doing fantastically. Unfortunately my son's managed to get food all over the top of the water fountain and it's all stuck on there, so I really should take that out and clean it. But the fish aren't really all that hungry because they don't really metabolize food at this temperature, so I am having a decrease in growth at the moment. But let's have a bit of a look around the aquaponics and see how it's going. My basil's all going to seed, which generally basil doesn't do so well in our winters here, although in this spot I might be able to create enough of a microclimate for it to be able to survive. I don't know. This is our first year growing here on the property. We've only been here for 12 months. See, and my basil is just taking over everything, so my poor little peppers over there are being buried by basil, so I need to harvest some of that. But the growth is just doing really well. I do have a lot of wasps around here, which is a bit of a challenge. But yeah, so the basil's looking a bit sad, but this one has just fallen over, and I think it's the wind has blown it over. I'll just kind of pick it up a bit more and bring it over this way so it's not shading those peppers, because those capsicum are going to need sunlight, and the wind's just blown. I should probably just cut that off and take it inside and make some basil pesto. So yes, just creating too much shade. I really need to get in here and trim back a lot of this and harvest a lot. See, because it's just growing nuts. It's growing absolutely nuts. See, celery does fantastically in aquaponics. This is my Okinawa spinach. It's doing really well. It's pretty. Basil is still doing great. I've still got to harvest a heap of it because it's just falling over under the weight. Oh look, this one's actually, it's actually come detached from the, I don't know if you can see that, the branch is actually broken. So I really need to harvest that, because that's, I need to get a pair of secateurs to trim that back. So yeah, I need to come in and I need to harvest a heap of this. Weigh it in for SHEDWARS. Go Team Aquarius! It's a real honour and a privilege to be able to be a volunteer for the Northern Hemisphere's growing season. So yes, but that's the aquaponics. But I'm really super excited because I can actually show you what my little fishies look like underwater now, thanks to my endoscope. It would be nicer with a GoPro, but the endoscope was like 1/10 of the price. I think I picked it up for like 50 bucks. And I can use it for a lot of other things. But yeah, if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions about the aquaponics, please leave them below. I do have to be careful with this system at the moment because I'm getting lots of little volunteer trees coming up, and they're little trees that I don't want, because that is going to be that. And we just finished getting a whole heap of those chopped down because they are actually going to pollute our water supply. Well, taint the water supply, I should say. And they're popping up everywhere. And I keep them growing in the aquaponics too. You don't get a lot of weeds in here, although my strawberries are doing well. Got a few flowers starting to come on a few plants. I really need to transplant some of these because the ones that I've transplanted are doing a lot better. But yeah, we need to set up a second system so I can get some of the fish out of there. Oh, look at that! Can you see that? Let's see if I can get on it. Oh, I got too close and scared it away. It was a butterfly. Anyway, so we're in, I think it's a hardiness zone 4 is where I'm in southeast Queensland. We do get frosts from what I've been told, and it's the first time I've actually ever grown in an area that gets frost. So I'm looking forward to growing some plants that I haven't been able to previously grow, and I'm still trying to figure out how to protect the ones that I'm used to being able to grow. So yes, keeping an eye on the weather. And I've just popped some taro in here the other day, and it seems to be doing quite well. It will get way too big for the aquaponics, but I'm actually growing it up to put in our dam. So that's my plan. And I've got to get this passion fruit vine out of here. It does not belong in the aquaponics because it'll just take over. Although it loves the aquaponics. And same with that passion fruit vine. I've just got a lot of things that I need to work on and I haven't finished yet. It's like all gardeners, isn't it? We all have our little projects that need to get some more attention. But yeah, my little snow peas are doing well. And my spinach that I planted the other day is all doing well as well. And those poor little butterfly. Look at that. Oh, that was so pretty. My poor little capsicums have been taken over by capsicums. We call them capsicums. In America you call them chilies. Peppers, sorry. So yes. Anyway, my little mulberry is starting to produce fruit. That also does not belong in the aquaponics. That needs to be planted out in the ground somewhere. Still thinking about where I'm going to put that. We've got a lot of ideas on things, and I just put some irises in here that I'm hoping will do well. And I can't remember what the other water plant is that I got over there, but I got them for the dam, and I'm just kind of babying them in the aquaponics for a bit and hopefully getting them to multiply. So yeah, yes, growing in small spaces. This is 6 square meters that I've got growing here, basically. And it is producing an abundance of food. Unfortunately, I'm not harvesting as much of it as I should be. And that's partially because I haven't found my dehydrator since we moved. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this look at the aquaponics. And now I can put a special video up for Wikishare project so you can see my fish. It's not as good a picture as a GoPro would give, but it's certainly better than what my mobile phone can give, because it can't go underwater. And you can't see the fish. You can hear them. You can certainly hear them, but you can't see them unless I've got the underwater camera. So yeah. Anyway, you have a great day, and I hope you enjoy looking at the fish under the water. Bless you.